Hey y'all, it's Elizabeth Day of It's an Adventure. Welcome back to another month of movie reviews. I didn't watch a movie the entire month of December, so here I am, back in January. And yes, it's not a makeup tutorial video even though I look like this, but that's just because it's the Friday of the first week of school. I'll leave it at that. Bryn's over here going. Okay, so I watched Frozen 2 tonight. I was on my mission when it came out. So imagine me like living in Koreatown, downtown area, and like seeing the billboards for this everywhere and being like, you know? Okay, gonna try to make this fast, but we all know that I'm like, so I'm just gonna try. So imagine a little 14-year-old Lizzo being 14 and seeing Frozen, because that's when it came out, is when I was 14, and I really didn't want to see it. Because, like, the trailers look so dumb to me. I was like, I have no idea what this movie is about. And my mom was like, that's why it looks good. My mom was so excited for it. She's like, that's why it looks good. Like, movie trailers back in the day. I'm like, dude, because back in the day, I didn't even really like movies. Like, I just barely got into movies before my mission. And also, if that thing just flew across the screen, that was my sock. Just so you know, that wasn't that weird. It was only moderately weird. But yeah, my mom was so excited for it. She was like, back in the day, that's what movie trailers used to be like. Like, they just, like, show you clips from the movie, but, like, you don't actually know what it's about. I'm like, how can I want to go see something that I don't know what it's about? I was like, dude, no. And so I really didn't want to go, and I was, like, so obsessed with the movie when I walked out of it. Frozen is a masterpiece. I don't care what you guys say. It's a very good film. Like, it's very good. And the first thought that I had after the movie was done was actually, they better not make a sequel. Do not do it. And I like firmly stood by that. I was like, I know they're going to, because this film is going to be so successful because it is so good, and they're going to make a sequel because like cash monies or whatever. But I was like, listen up, Disney, you never make a good sequel. Once in a blue moon do you make a good sequel, you know? Like, you don't do this. Like, unless you are planning for there to be another story, which you never are. I'm sorry. Like, when are you ever doing that? Unless you're, which maybe you are, but like, frequently you're not planning on another story, so it's like, just chill out and like, don't make one. Like, it's fine. Like, let be what is, and like, don't make a disaster of something that's very, very beautiful. And so I knew that's what they would do with Frozen. And then a few years later, they announced officially, oh, none of us saw this one coming, but we hoped that since it had been a few years that, like, maybe they were, like, actually gonna go through with this, but then, like, they didn't. They went ahead and made the movie. They were like, oh my gosh, Frozen 2 is in production! And we were like, no! Or at least I was. I was so upset! And then the trailer came out for it, like, sometime before my mission. And so I was like, no, because yet again, I thought the trailer was terrible, because I was like, I have no idea what this is about. I was like, Elsa's running on water and there's a lot of leaves. Like, like, why do I care? And so I watched it tonight, and I thought I would not. I guess I didn't have very high expectations. And it's really funny because the reviews that I heard from other people on this movie were wildly mixed. Like, ridiculously mixed. Like, I've never heard this much of an outrageous mix of reviews. But I really enjoyed it a lot. And I was like, what? Why? So, like, 5 minutes into the movie, this is the way it kind of felt, and this is kind of the way it is. I'm probably gonna have to watch that about 12 more times, because my brain went about 1,000 different directions while watching it. Which I think makes sense, because, like, that's kind of how the movie is. I feel like the movie kind of goes 1,000 different directions. So I'm just like, whoa. Yeah, so I really liked it. Like, 5 minutes into the movie, I just remember being like, this feels kind of like a good fanfic. I was like, I really like this, but it feels like they're trying to make it real, like, really hard. I'm not sure if it is yet. And so, like, at first I was like, is this going to be, like, one of those, like, Harry Potter and the Cursed Child, Love Never Dies type things where it's, like, it's not real, but it's real, you know? Like, we don't accept it as real, but we enjoy it. But I feel like it was more real than that. Like, I felt complete. When the movie ended, I felt complete. It was so weird. I was not expecting it. And I thought the story was nice. It came totally out of left field. Wasn't expecting it. We had no reason to think that that story would ever happen. Although I think some people like fan fictioned that Anna had powers too or whatever. So I guess like the illusion of other powers like had something to do there. It was very cute. I will always be a gigantic simp for Frozen because it so accurately captures the feeling of having a sister to me. Except for when they're being crazy, because sometimes they're like, oh my gosh, and I'm like, dude. But it so accurately captures the feeling of having a sister for me. That's part of the reason I've always loved it, because I'm very close to my sister. And so, like, we always, like, back in the day when, like, Frozen was the huge thing, like, I was Elsa and she was Anna, like, that was our thing. Because I'm the emo boy. She's the crazy one. Don't let her fool you. She's the crazy one. It's not me. I'm just the emo one. And so, yeah, I will always love it because it, like, has that feeling. The music was good. Music was good. I liked it. I was like, okay, these are bops. These are bops. Sweet. I can get behind it. The cinematography. Let me just say that animation will never not blow my mind because, so, capturing, like, perfect shots and angles and, like, all of these beautiful, remarkable things is hard enough in, like, real life, but, like, you're doing that with a drawing. Like, you're doing that with a like, human like, what do you call it when you make something? It's like an F word, but you make something. Nope, not fracture. Not fragment. When you build something artificially built, and you make a movie out of it. I'm like, how do you guys do that? Like, animation blows my mind. And so the camera angle work was top tier. There were some very visually appealing shots, and I really enjoyed that. I liked how, this is so weird, but like the little friend group that was made in the first movie, this second film now made me like really, like it gave off like major Friend vibes. Like Friends, like the 90s television program. Like I was like, is this just like Friends, but like it's a Disney movie this time? That's totally how it vibed. And so I enjoyed that too. And I'm having so many thoughts right now, and so you guys know me, I'll probably, because I did this with Coco, I made like 3 parts of my film review for that because things just kept coming back, so I might do that again with this. But I don't know, okay, hold on, 2 things, I lied, 2 things. The end I thought was going to dissatisfy me, but then it didn't, because I think I was just simping because I was like, you can't separate the sisters. But I think we all know that, weirdly enough, it's so weird how we knew this, but we all knew this. Like, Anna needed to be the Queen of Arendelle. And I'm like, I don't know how I knew that, but like, when she said that, I was like, yeah, of course she does. I'm like, how did I know? Maybe it's because I had already accepted that Anna was dead, and so I was like, all right, Anna's the queen. I mean, I'd accepted that Elsa was dead, so I was like, all right, Anna's the queen now, moving on. So maybe that's why I so readily accepted that. But I felt it. Yeah. I love them. I liked it a lot. Like, it felt like a good story. It didn't feel forced. It feel like it connected the dots of, like, the missing parents. To those of you lovely friends that, like, had that whole weird Tarzan headcanon going on, and back in 2013, 2014, whenever that was, Disney was like, oh yeah, that's real. They were just trying to appease you. It's not actually real, and now we know because we have Frozen 2. Just saying. So there's that. I think it, like, all our loose ends were tied. We felt satisfied. We were like, the family's still connected. And even the beautiful thing is the bridge. Like Elsa mentioned, there's a bridge. Like, the lands are connected now because they were supposed to be, like, what's her name? Their mother was from, like, the one land, and then their father was from the other, and they're connected again like they're supposed to be. And I have to speak a bit on... So when this movie started, I was scared that I wasn't gonna like Elsa again, because who liked Elsa in the first movie? None of us, right? But, oh, Bryn did.
I did.
Oh. I didn't, but then I, like, later embraced her because we were pretty much the same person, and so that's probably why I didn't like her. But, who is it?
It's Elise.
Hi, Elise. Did you tell Jed my message?
What message?
Did you read your text? Okay, good. Okay, good. I told her that Jed needs to get on Instagram just for like 1 second so he can like accept my follow request.
Me too.
And so he can change his bio to a diet to meet. Yeah. I don't know why that came to my brain, but I was just like getting ready to watch the movie and I was like, I need to tell Elise to tell Jed this right now. Yeah. But anyway. Yeah, so I liked Elsa and her story a lot this time, which I like didn't think I would, but I think it was such a beautiful story and something that like pretty much everybody can relate to, of like kind of wondering why you are alive and why you are where you are and knowing that there is an answer but not knowing quite how to find it or being scared to find it because you do know how to find it but you're like, that's terrifying. And so I think I liked that because it was so relatable. And I was like simping. I was getting so emo during Show Yourself, which I didn't think I would do. I was like, why am I being such a simp and such a weirdo? I was like, why am I being so emo right now? But I think it's that feeling of when you finally make it to that point in your life where you're like, where you realize why you are alive. You realize why you are alive and like why you've been put in the position that you are put in and what your purpose in life is. When you realize what you really need and who you really are, that is a really cool feeling. And so I think I was just getting emo because like, especially because like, I guess I'm kind of in those sort of stages of my life in where like, I'm just like, pretty much starting to come into my own, just barely. And so I think that was a really cool feeling. And that's probably why I was getting so emo, because I was like, she looks like she's coming so alive and she's saying everything that's like speaking my heart. And she has like this weird new look that like is super weird, but it fits her a lot because she's coming into her own and she's the fifth spirit. And none of us were shocked by that because like the second they said it was a fifth spirit, we were like, oh, it's a nice spirit. And then it was her, and then she had to stay in that land because like it's her land because she's one of the magic spirits. And so like, yeah, I don't get why at the end, the only problem I have is I don't get why, besides the fact that it was a really weird movie but I still enjoyed it, is why she called the wind Gale, because the wind is Gale, but then she called the horse that too. I thought they were different spirits. That's a continuity issue that I have, but maybe someone a little bit older and wiser than me can answer that question for me. Oh my gosh, Olaf had another Bob, which I wasn't expecting. I was like, there's no way they're gonna make a Bobby or Bob. I think they did. I was like, oh wow. Yeah, there were a lot of Bobs. And Olaf was singing things that we all think that aren't true, and it was funny. Yeah, so it was like actually good, and I was really shocked. So like, great job, Disney. I'm really proud of you. That's the kind of content we like to see. We like to see good reboots and good sequels. Keep it up. You are doing amazing, sweetie. And I'll catch you in a few years to help you on that venture. But anyway, thanks for coming. Love you guys. Okay, so Bryn just reminded me that I need to do... Here she is.
Hello.
Bryn just reminded me that I need to do the movie review for Soul because we just watched a movie together, and it was one that she had seen, which you'll find out what it is after I make this review because I'm doing it in order of which the films were watched.
I've never done a movie review on Soul though, so I can do it with
Well,
you.
would you like to participate? Yes. All right, so I watched Soul. So did Bryn. We watched it separately this time.
I watched it a while ago.
Yeah, and I just watched it like this last week, and she watched it like a few weeks ago. And so my review of Soul, I guess I should preface this by saying that like I was really excited for it. I don't know, when I first saw a trailer of it, I was like, this is gonna be the greatest thing ever. Because I don't know if you guys know this about my church, Church of Jesus Christ Latter-day Saints. We believe that we lived with God before we were born. So when I saw like a movie that was about like spirits before they were born, I literally was like, this is amazing. I was like, this is going to be amazing.
I didn't see like any previews.
Oh, really?
I didn't know it was a thing.
Oh.
And then I was just, it was like, I think it was like, after Christmas, a little bit after Christmas, and I was just like at my dad's house, and then they were like, we're gonna watch this new Disney movie, and I was like, new Disney
Okay.
movie?
I'll
And then
watch
we
it.
watched it, and it was good.
Yeah? Please tell us more of why it was good.
It was just like, it was so deep.
Yeah, it was really deep.
Like, and profound. It was, I don't know. I love Disney Pixar movies, always. They're just always good.
They don't stop being good.
Yeah, and I love the like art style too.
Yeah, it was so very
cute.
pretty.
It was so cute. I loved it, and
I liked that too.
I think it was just a really great film. I just loved it.
It was a really good film. It was very visually nice. I really liked the music. The music was very thematic. They had a lot of motifs going on, which was really fun. I think that they had me because they had me like on the edge of my seat because I so badly wanted spoilers, but like I feel like you know this if you're about to watch a movie review video. Spoilers. I so badly didn't want Joe to die. Like every time he almost died, I was like, no, he's gotta live through this. I was like, no. So like, good job with that.
He's just getting his time.
Get your time.
He's just getting his time to shine.
Time to shine. Oh, and it was, oh my gosh, I could go on about this forever. I love how like, I was gonna say something before. Oh yeah, before I say the thing that I was like obsessed with about it, I want to say the mixed reviews that I heard before I saw it, which made me even more eager to see it because I was like, I want to see what I think. Because like it got a lot of great reviews, but then I also heard commentary about like, especially from the Black community, how they were like, it felt kind of like a tour through Black culture. And it didn't actually feel like Black culture. It felt like a visitation for the normies, for the non-Blacks out here. And so, having now seen the film, I still can't speak for that because I'm still white. So, as far as that matter goes, I have no idea. And I'll leave that matter to the people that can speak for it. But the people that said they loved it because it has a great message, I agree. Because I can speak for that. And I think that I love how, like, they go through, he's like, I'm gonna be your mentor. Here's your spark. Your spark is your purpose. And, like, she's like, dude, I don't really care about anything. And then she goes to Earth and she eats pizza and she watches a child decide to follow their dreams. She watches, like, a subway dude play guitar. She asks, oh my gosh, she asks the man at the barbershop, like, about his life. He says, my passion is animals, but I couldn't afford that. And so now here I am cutting hair and I love it. And he says that his passion has led him to another way. And so he's all like, oh my gosh, I'm sorry you're not fulfilling your purpose. And he's like, what are you talking about? Of course I am. Then at the end of they differentiate that your spark and your purpose aren't the same thing, which I love, especially because, like, as I contemplated that a lot with, like, paired with a message of, like, an anti-suicide message, in that I've seen so many people that, like, as a woman with depression, like, I'll say that, like, yeah, there are days that you're like, so, yeah, as two women with depression, I mean, like, I just wasn't gonna say that because, like, it's not my business to share her health information, but if she's gonna do this, then, like, then I feel like she doesn't really care. So, like, yeah, as women with depression, like, I know that I can say, like, there are some days where you're just like, do we live just to die? And I'm like, what is the point? But I remember, like, I so vividly think of this all the time, especially after watching that movie. Like, this random Tumblr post I saw once, which makes me sound, like, kind of dumb, but, like, it's true, is, like, one time it was, like, people are always like, if you're gonna stay alive for yourself. And they're like, no. Because, like, I hope that's true eventually, but stay alive for whatever you can in that moment. Like, if all you can stay alive for is your potted plant needs somebody to water it every day, that's enough. Until you can get to the place where you're ready to feel alive. Huh?
Oh. Poor succulent Susie. It's not doing
Poor
good.
Bryn's succulent.
She's not doing well.
To be fair, she doesn't have a very good place for sunshine anywhere in this house. So it's not
It's
totally
like midnight in here every day.
It's midnight in here every day. There's no light in this angelic town, especially at this apartment, because we're in the basement. But Yeah, and so I think that's what that made me think of. Like, your purpose is why you are alive, but your spark is like why you stay alive. Because, like, at the end of the movie, 22 still didn't know her purpose, but she knew her spark. She knew the reasons that life was exciting to her, even though she didn't know why she needed to be alive yet. And so I think that's like a good message that anyone can take away. Your spark and your purpose aren't the same thing. So, like, even if you don't know what life is for yet, you can still find a reason to live in the little things. Like, it doesn't have to be huge. And so I loved that. I loved Joe's acceptance at the end. I loved that he was like, I am ready to die. And then I loved that he didn't die, and that he was like, she was like, what are you going to do with your second chance on Earth? And he was like, I have not a clue, but I know that I'm going to live every second of it. And it was so true. And
Good stuff.
like it was a very lovely story. I liked how the story was written a lot. I think the story writing is the thing that I liked the most. Wow, we're all shocked about that. But any final words, Bryn? Any final thoughts?
If you haven't seen Soul, I'm sorry we spoiled it for you, but you should watch it still because it's so beautiful.
You should watch it still. Very well executed. Sorry we spoiled it for you. But, like, to be fair, you opened a movie review that says in the description, review for Soul. So,
Yeah.
Also, I warned you before. You had plenty of sufficient time. Anyway, we love you guys, and now on to see what movie Bryn finished for the first time today.
Hello, fans. Not fans. Whatever you are.
Still fans.
Probably
I hope
fans.
they're watching.
Probably fans. Haters. Just kidding.
That showed up.
To the haters. Thank you for coming. This is movie review.
So, the reason Bryn's leading this one is because we watched Les Misérables, which I have seen before, but she had not seen the whole thing before.
Yeah.
So she's going to lead this one because it's technically like her first review.
Yes. So, this was my first time watching the whole movie. I've seen many clips of it. I've listened to the songs, but I've never watched the whole movie. So, first of all, it was beautiful. Of course. It's beautiful. The camera work is amazing. The songs, stunning. Just chills every time. Killer cast, you know. I don't know. It's just like, I just felt all the things. It's just a good movie, okay? I'm not good at words, but I just want to say that if you haven't seen this movie, you should do that, because it'll change your life, okay? So do that. Yeah, it's just good. The message is good. The songs are beautiful. You will never get them out of your head, and that's okay. You won't
be sad.
You won't even be mad about it. Because the songs are so good that you can just, like, listen to them every day for your whole life, and you won't even be sick of them. Because they're that good. I mean, you know, like, Hugh Jackman is in it.
Do you need another reason to see it?
That's all I should have said. I should have been like, this is a movie review. Hugh Jackman is in this movie. That's the end.
That's what you need to know.
That's
you know
what you need
it's a
to
good
know.
Movie.
That's the end.
It's a great show me.
Yeah. So that's
okay.
but that's for another time. Anyways.
Pretty sure you guys know how I feel about that.
Yeah. So get yourself a pizza. Watch some
Like
Les Mis.
Thanks, Domino's.
The French people aren't the only ones that are miserable. We are too after watching this. My heart is in pain. Yeah. So, anyways, that's it. Okay, bye.
Bye.